I've just arrived here at the Bank of America and the police are already here. Isn't that fantastic? What an efficient police service we have here in the City of London Corporation area. And I'm just going to go up and say hello to them if I need to.
Another of the purveyors of economic weapons of mass destruction, as somebody quite rightly described what these banks have been doing. Bank of America was too big to fail, so it became much bigger since the mortgages, and they're being sued for about $1 billion by the Justice Department in America. You know, it's banks like this that mean that our children, as it currently stands, and probably their children as well, will still be in hock to the same banks. We've essentially invented vast amounts of current and future taxpayers' money for, and given it to them at virtually zero interest, knowing that they can lend it out at up to 10% across the world. You know, I can make profit with a bank like that. Anybody could. You might visit HSBC in a minute. We had the official launch of Too Big to Jail recently as well. Drug money laundering across the world, because HSBC was too important an institution to the system. You know, words like kleptocracy may sound strange to people, but it literally means a system of power based on theft. About $20 trillion that has been essentially invented in the global economy out of thin air will be paid back by current and future taxpayers in order to pretend that money was real. And one of the most brutal things that's happening at the moment is that the rest of the economy that was essentially fed to the dogs in order to grow the City of London in the last 30 years and palmed off with benefits instead of jobs, now the government is turning around and having a go at those people being on benefits, even though the jobs that were there in their thousands before in terms of industry, etc., are simply no longer there. Oh, no. So we're standing here outside Goldman Sachs head office still. Been trying to engage some passers-by and some people walking into Goldman Sachs. You can ask you a question. Historical links with brutal dictators in South America, especially, and elsewhere. Smeared with the brooms of purity. That's the machine of evil. Funnily enough, no comment. Ongoing. I sense this might carry on for a while. What people need to understand about these institutions is they hire nice people. You know, it makes sense to hire nice people. Again, that's very much in the interest of profit. You know, this is not about what people are like as individuals. Maybe we'll have more luck at the taxpayer-owned bank, the Royal Bank of Scotland. They will, I'm sure, give us some answers, given that we're paying their wages.
Well, hi mate. Hi, my name's Mohammed, and I'm here with my friends to talk to you about how little you get paid to work in the City of London. People who have put money offshore in order to avoid paying tax.
I feel just as bad about that as I do with the bankers. George Osborne, for instance, and all these bum shops.
Having given them essentially free money that they can give out to other people at significant interest, we asked kind of nicely that they might give some to people in the UK economy to actually do what they're meant to do. There's a really inspiring campaign called the Royal Bank of Sustainability that made the very obvious argument: if we own the bank, it makes absolutely no sense to run it at arm's length. What Mervyn King didn't say, which I think is a very important extension of that idea, is that we're highlighting the rather questionable role that Royal Bank of Scotland has played in undermining democracy.
Who represent, sorry?
The people. Your children.
That's private property as well, yes.
But well, I'm a taxpayer, so it's kind of my property as well.
It is our property. We do own this bank.
Okay. So, as I was saying, yeah, this should be the Royal Bank of Sustainability instead of being the go-to bank for the fossil fuel industry. You know, investing billions in the tar sands in Canada, for instance, which is the biggest and most destructive industrial project of all time. And as the Bank of England governor also said yesterday, there's no reasonable prospect that all the toxic assets that the taxpayer has taken on are ever going to get paid back. And that's for a very simple reason, is that the money that those assets represent was invented from the outset. Bearing in mind the top 1% have about a quarter of the income in this country, even more of the wealth. We're basically doing absolutely everything we can to turn the whole world, the whole country around this totally false still point, which is the people at the top have to get paid. Over the last few years has been called the greatest heist in history. You know, it's absolute daylight robbery with the practical effect in the short term that they're now pressuring governments to turn around and say, as they all are, that we can't afford the things that we really need. So here we're standing outside HSBC Premier. This is a list of giant euphemisms for how this institution will help the super rich avoid obligations to the rest of the world. Local knowledge and advice essentially means we're in tax havens, we know how it works, come to us. Dedicated relationship managers. Do you have £20 million that you want to keep away from the rest of society so that it can't pay for things that you need? Come to us. We'll arrange that very nicely and discreetly for you. And the one area of the global economy, by the way, that's been not only recession-proof but has been absolutely rocketing upwards is what I think it's Bank of America, you can look this up for yourself, but they call the Plutonomy Index, i.e. an index of stocks that are related to products consumed by the super rich, and they're doing spectacularly well while the rest of us do worse and worse. So welcome to HSBC Premier, Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation, providing tax avoiding services across the world.